Julian Assange should be freed now, and the British government must make it clear that never again will we allow a foreign government to extradite someone from our country for revealing facts that we all had a right to know. Because if Julian Assange could be extradited to the United States and jailed for the rest of his life, then any journalist could face a similar fate. That's why the National Union of Journalists and the International Federation of Journalists have taken every opportunity to explain why, for those of us who the media is our livelihood, should join the call to free Julian Assange. I attended the Old Bailey and Woolwich Crown Court on every day of Julian Assange's extradition hearings, and what I learned shocked me, both as a journalist and as a citizen of this country. I learned that the UK has an extradition treaty with the United States containing provisions that are simply not worth the paper they are written on. That treaty says that individuals may not be extradited for political offences. Judge Barrett Itzer, who heard the case, determined that this apparent guarantee is worthless. I learned that the United States kidnapped a German citizen called Khaled al-Masri in 2003. CIA officers illegally transported Mr al-Masri to a secret base in Afghanistan and horrifically tortured him for months before realising that they'd snatched the wrong man. And when they did, they dumped al-Masri on a roadside in Albania, and despite international courts establishing the facts of the case, in part on the basis of documents revealed by Julian Assange, the United States has never acknowledged its crime. I learned that if Julian Assange were extradited and convicted, he'd be incarcerated for the rest of his life in a supermax prison in Colorado. Prisoners there are kept in cells the size of a parking space, are never allowed to see other prisoners, and rarely leave their cells. Visits, even by lawyers, are almost impossible, and family phone calls are limited to 15 minutes a month. I heard a great deal of expert medical opinion about Julian Assange's mental health. He's on the autism spectrum, he's made multiple suicide attempts since his teens, and during a recent stretch in solitary confinement in Belmarsh prison, he was clearly so low that he again made preparations to take his life. Fortunately, Judge Barrett Itzer heard these submissions too, and agreed that whatever you think of Julian Assange, it would be inhuman to send someone so vulnerable into such a monstrous penal regime. That's why she turned down the extradition application. Having heard the depths of Assange's suffering minutely picked over, surely the only response is to free him now. Of course the Americans can appeal Barrett Itzer's judgment, but what benefit can there be in keeping him locked up for a moment longer? Freeing Julian Assange will be a sign that our government pays more than lip service to free speech and media freedom. To really make a difference though, legal reforms to make such an extradition impossible in the future are vital. Reform to the UK's Official Secrets Act will soon be before Parliament. That would be the opportunity. If you care about free speech, send your MP a message for the government. Give Julian Assange his freedom, and let's create a public interest defence when the Official Secrets Act is reformed and put an end to this kind of extraterritorial judicial harassment.